Okay, so a few weeks ago, I decided to try fasting. And I did it for one day. And I thought, yeah, that was okay. It was, I was still thinking about food I wanted to eat. I couldn't wait to finish up. And it's a water fast. And it's only recently I knew the difference between dry fasting and wet fasting because I thought water fast was dry fasting. I didn't have anything completely but water. So I thought, yeah, you need water. How are you going to survive if you don't have water? You might pass out. So anyway, I did it for one day and I thought, yeah, okay, it wasn't too bad. I thought, all right, let me break the fast and then try it for 2 days. And 2 days was a little bit rough. And something interesting happened as well. So while I was fasting, I was reading the Bible. And that's my mission, to completely fully read the Bible and then go through it and study it properly. Anyway, so I'm fasting. I think it was day 2. I was already on the book of Isaiah when I was reading a chapter 58, verse 5, where it says, "Is this the kind of fast I've chosen? Only a day for people to humble themselves? Is it only for bowing one's head like a reed and lying in sackcloth and ashes? Is that what you called a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord?" So I think that was when God was speaking to Isaiah, and I'm reading it and I'm like, wow, I was sort of smiling thinking, oh my word, what are the chances of me coming across this chapter while I'm fasting? This chapter and verse. So yeah, I thought, okay, there's got to be a message to me. God is speaking to me. So basically one day of fast is complete laziness, and that's not a proper fast. So yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences anymore since I started my journey with Christ. So for me, I just see that as God was speaking to me through scriptures. So yeah, I then came across a video of Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell where he was encouraging his church members to fast. And he encouraged them to fast for 7 days. And I thought, wow, how can someone fast for 7 days? I heard of Jesus fasting for 40 days, but that is Jesus. So how can someone do it for 7 days? And I just thought, okay, maybe not now, but I will give it a try sometimes in the future when I'm sort of experienced enough, because I don't want to do it and next minute I end up with some sort of health issues. So yeah, and yeah, I give people ratings, man. I big people up who could actually do it for such a long time. So anyway, I tried it again, and yeah, day 2 was a bit rough. Near the end of day 2, I couldn't wait. I could not wait for 6. I was shaking a little bit. I had a bad headache. I was feeling rough. I was a bit weak, and I couldn't wait to eat. And then as 6 o'clock came, man, I was just like gobbling down my food. I was just eating. And I just thought, oh my word, why would people do this? But yeah, I kind of get it, because it can help to sort of discipline yourself. So my day, when I was fasting though, it was after I completed it, I thought, yeah, that was not a proper fast. Because throughout the period, I was watching social media a lot of nonsense on social media. I was playing computer games, And really, I should have been focusing on the word. I should have been focusing on God completely. I wasn't doing it properly. So I allow the flesh to be tempted to find alternative coping mechanisms. So it's Matthew 26 verse 41, where it says, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. It says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So basically, I was trying to distract myself and find other ways to cope. And instead of putting my full focus on God, it should all about being praying, playing praise songs, reading the Bible, and that sort of thing. So, I wanted to fast because I wanted to build that stronger connection with God. I wanted to hear from God more. I wanted to listen to him, get guidance from him, grow spiritually and build strong discipline. I want to sort of read the Bible and get revelation from the Bible, proper understanding. And not even just from a spiritual standpoint, but I wanted to from a health perspective, to restore the body to a healthy state, because it's not all about eating lunch, breakfast, and dinner every single day, so fasting is actually good for repairing cells in the body. It's actually, if you listen to various doctors on YouTube about fasting, they will talk to you about how fasting can actually rid the body of toxins. You're sort of able to sort of lose weight, all that belly fat. Is it the visceral something? It's a fat that hangs around the tummy area and around your organs as well. It's one of the hardest ones to sort of burn off. And basically you have doctors online who talk about basically, you basically can sort of tap into that fat to sort of use that as energy for food. And so, it's good for weight loss and good for restoring the body, get the body back into an healthy state and so on. So it's a good thing, good for the mind, good for the brain. You build that sort of discipline. And so for me at the moment, I'm going to do it a bit more. I'm going to sort of trying to practice it at least every single week. Do about maybe 1 day, 2 days again, and sort of take it from there. There's one other thing that I'm trying to do as well to sort of help my body to get into sort of a state to where it can sort of cope and not think about food and not being hungry anymore. And that is the 1 meal a day sort of thing. I'm going to try that to kind of build myself up. And I just don't want to sort of jump into, say, a 3 days, a 5, 7 days fast. I want to sort of get my body conditioned to where when I attempt to do those sort of heavy fasting, my body is already tuned. So I'm doing it for spiritual and for health reasons. Give it a try if you can, but I would not encourage just jumping straight into sort of a 2-3 days without prepping the body, because like I said, it had an effect on me. I had headaches, I was weak, I was shaking a little bit, I wanted food so badly. But I know for sure that when you prep your body, you conditioned your body, you're not even going to feel hunger after a while. So give it a try. work on yourself, work on your body, and build that spiritual connection with God. So stay blessed and look after.